You finally booked that dream cruise. Caribbean breeze, bottomless soft serve, and yes, endless selfies on deck. But before you start packing, let's talk outfits. Because believe it or not, what you wear on a cruise ship can actually get you in trouble, or at the very least, earn you a few judgmental stares and maybe an awkward moment with guest services. Ever seen someone show up at the buffet in a bathrobe or walk into the dining room like they just rolled out of bed? It happens more often than you think, and trust me, the staff does notice. Hey there, welcome or welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here. Cruise style isn't what it used to be, and that's a good thing. We're no longer in the tuxedo every night era, and thankfully it's not required to rock a three-piece suit by the pool. These days, most cruise lines are way more relaxed. But that doesn't mean you can just wear whatever, whenever. In this video, we're diving into the real dress codes that cruise lines still enforce, the unspoken etiquette that seasoned cruisers follow without thinking, and the surprisingly common fashion slip-ups that could make your trip a little less magical. And just before we get into it, two quick things. First, I'm not the fashion police. If pineapple print is your thing, go for it. And second, if this video helps you pack smarter or cruise more confidently, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and let's cruise through this together. Let's kick things off with a surprise item that could actually get you in legal trouble: camouflage. Yep, that edgy camo hoodie or those cool army print shorts might seem harmless, but in several countries, especially in the Caribbean, wearing camouflage is illegal unless you're in the military. No joke. Here's how it plays out. You hop off the ship for a sunny port day in Barbados, or maybe Antigua, Jamaica, or St. Lucia. You're dressed for the heat, rocking your favorite camo tee. 10 minutes later, a local officer stops you. Why? Because military-style clothing is strictly reserved for service members. Tourists caught wearing it have been fined, sent back to the ship to change, or worse. Now, if you're just staying on board, totally fine. Wear camo by the pool, no one's stopping you. But once you step ashore, that same outfit can turn into a problem fast. Some cruise lines even include this warning in their shore excursion notes. But let's be honest, most people skip the fine print. So, what's the move? Simply skip packing it. That camo print may be trending, but it's not worth getting flagged at customs or missing your port day over a pair of shorts. Let's talk pineapples, specifically upside-down ones. You might think, what's the big deal? It's a fruit, it's tropical, it's cruisy. And you're not wrong, unless that pineapple is upside down. Because on a cruise ship, that quirky little symbol actually means something else entirely. An upside-down pineapple has become an unofficial signal in the swinger community. Yes, as in couples looking to mingle intimately. It might show up on a beach bag, a tank top, a door magnet on someone's cabin. So if you're wearing one without realizing, don't be surprised if a fellow guest strikes up a very unexpected conversation. That said, don't panic. Not every upside-down pineapple is an invitation. Context and placement matter. A casual pineapple print on a swimsuit or a cocktail napkin? Totally harmless. But if it's front and center, flipped upside down, and maybe paired with a few winks and nods, yeah, it might be sending a message. Cruise forums like Cruise Critic are filled with funny, awkward, and sometimes wild stories about accidental pineapple confusion. So if you're not part of that scene and don't want to be mistaken for someone who is, maybe stick to flamingos or palm trees instead. Let your outfits say, I'm here to relax, not, I'm here to network. Bikinis are a cruise staple, and let's be real, when you're lounging by the pool or soaking in the hot tub, there's no better uniform. But here's where things get tricky. Just because you can wear a bikini on board doesn't mean you should wear it everywhere. First off, the vibe totally depends on your cruise line. If you're on a Disney cruise, think family-friendly. Modesty matters. That thong bikini might raise a few eyebrows, and maybe a few complaints. But if you're cruising with Virgin Voyages, which leans into a more adult, free-spirited crowd, you'll probably see a whole lot more skin, and no one bats an eye. Some cruise lines, like Virgin, are more relaxed about swimwear in informal spaces, while others, like Disney or Royal Caribbean, tend to expect more coverage in shared indoor areas. Still, even on the most flexible ships, there's a line. See-through swimwear, super skimpy thongs, not really the move, especially when they're wet and leave little to the imagination. You don't want to become that story someone tells over dinner. Speaking of dinner, this is where a lot of people get tripped up. The number one swimwear rule on cruise ships: if you're leaving the pool area, cover up. That means tossing on a sundress, a tank and shorts, or even just a towel wrap. Walking into the buffet soaking wet in a swimsuit, it's not just frowned upon, it can actually get you turned away. And it's not only about modesty. Wet swimwear creates a mess. Dripping water onto tile floors makes them dangerously slippery, especially in high-traffic areas like the buffet or elevators. It's a safety hazard for you and everyone else. Plus, constant puddles aren't great for maintaining a clean ship. The crew has enough to manage without mopping up trails of pool water every 5 minutes. There's even a real story about a guest who showed up to the main dining room in nothing but a bikini and a sheer mesh cover-up. She got politely, but firmly, asked to go change before being served. Why? Because dinner, even on a cruise, still deserves a little dignity. Bottom line, swimsuits belong by the pool. Once you step inside, whether it's the cafe, the hallway, or the dining room, wrap it up and dry off. Your fellow cruisers and the cleaning crew will thank you. Cruises are all about comfort, but even comfort has boundaries, and walking through the ship in your bathrobe or pajamas, that's where the line usually is. Let's start with the bathrobe. It's soft, fluffy, and made for slow balcony mornings with coffee and room service. In your cabin or on your private veranda? Perfect. But the moment you wander into the hallway or buffet in that robe, it stops looking like vacation luxury and starts feeling like you just stepped out of a spa treatment mid-session. Same goes for pajamas. While a kid grabbing a slice of late-night pizza in their cartoon PJs is cute, a grown adult padding through the ship in sleepwear looks more like they got lost on the way to bed than ready for a midnight snack. Pajamas are deeply personal. They belong in bedrooms, not in places where people are sipping wine or lining up for tiramisu. And slippers? Great for shuffling around your stateroom. But out in public, flimsy or inappropriate footwear can look sloppy. And on a moving ship with polished floors, it's not always the safest choice either. It's not about judging comfort. It's about preserving that little bit of polish that makes a cruise feel special. So, by all means, enjoy the loungewear life inside your cabin. But once you're in the hallway, a real outfit and proper shoes go a long way. She looked stunning. Sleek black dress, hair done just right, strappy heels that screamed elegance. It was the first formal night of the cruise, and she was glowing, until about 20 minutes into dinner, when her smile faded into a quiet grimace. By the time dessert came, she was barefoot under the table, and her partner was carrying her shoes back to the cabin. Been there? You're not alone. That's the thing about cruises. They trick you into thinking you won't walk much. After all, it's a ship. How far can it be? Turns out, very far. From your cabin to the dining room, up to the theater, down to the spa, across to the buffet, you'll be clocking miles without realizing it. And when you do it in brand new shoes you brought just for the gram, oof, you end up limping through paradise. That's why seasoned cruisers have a golden rule. Only pack shoes you've already broken in. If they're uncomfortable at home after 30 minutes, they won't magically get better at sea. And don't forget closed-toe shoes. Even if you're planning to live in sandals, certain onboard activities require proper footwear. For example, on Carnival ships, sneakers are mandatory for the Sky Course ropes course or the zipline platform. No closed-toe shoes? No go. For kids, it's even stricter. They won't get into the play zones, climbing areas, or sports courts without the right shoes. So sure, bring your stylish pair. But bring backups too. Comfy, breathable, dependable. The kind that let you dance at midnight, explore port towns, or just walk across Deck 9 without regretting every step. Because nothing kills cruise magic faster than blisters in formal wear. That diamond bracelet? The designer watch? Your favorite gold chain? They might look stunning for formal night photos, but the minute you step off the ship wearing them, You could be waving a neon sign that says, "Tourist with valuables." Cruise ports are beautiful, but they're also busy, high-traffic areas. And unfortunately, that means they attract the occasional pickpocket or opportunist. We heard about one guest who wore a chunky gold necklace ashore and had it snatched right off her neck within minutes of leaving the ship. Middle of the day, in a crowded area, gone. Even on board, things can go missing. That's why most cruise lines provide free in-cabin safes and even recommend using them for anything valuable: jewelry, passports, wallets, extra cash, electronics. It's a small habit that gives you major peace of mind. And here's another common mishap: swimming with rings on. We've seen engagement rings vanish during snorkeling excursions, never to be seen again. All it takes is one strong wave or one moment of distraction. So whether it's a high-value item or something sentimental, if you'd panic losing it, lock it up. Or better yet, leave it home. You'll enjoy your cruise more without constantly checking your wrist or clutching your bag. There are better ways to shine on vacation, and none of them involve becoming a target. We all want to smell nice on vacation. A spritz of your signature scent before dinner? Totally fair. But on a cruise ship, where shared spaces are tight and air circulation isn't exactly spa grade, a little can go a long way. And not in a good way. Think elevators, small lounges, theater seats. Those are the places where your favorite floral blend or spicy cologne doesn't just announce itself, it lingers. While cruise ships generally have good ventilation systems, strong scents can still hang in the air longer than expected, especially in confined spaces where airflow is limited, like elevators or indoor dining rooms. And not everyone's a fan. Some guests have allergies or sensitivities to strong scents. For them, that cloud of perfume isn't just annoying, it's a headache waiting to happen. Or worse, a trip back to their cabin feeling nauseous before the appetizer hits the table. We even heard about a guest who got gently asked to switch seats at dinner because her perfume was so overpowering it was bothering guests 2 tables away. Not exactly the vibe you want while sipping wine under chandelier lighting. So here's the fix: go light. 1 dab, 1 spritz, max. Or better yet, swap your perfume for a subtle body mist or an unscented lotion that keeps you fresh without overwhelming the room. Because the only trail you should leave behind on a cruise ship is footprints on the pool deck, not a cloud of eau de overkill. Here's a classic cruise question: can I wear shorts to dinner? And the answer? Well, it depends. Most cruise lines have relaxed their dress codes over the years. You can rock shorts at the buffet all day long. But once the sun sets and you're heading into the main dining room, the rules shift. For men, shorts are often a no-go in formal dining rooms, especially on cruise lines like Princess, Celebrity, or Holland America. You might even get politely turned away if you show up in cargo shorts and flip-flops. Women usually get a little more leeway. Stylish, dressy shorts or nice capris might slide under the radar, but if you're aiming for that smart casual vibe, a sundress or jumpsuit always hits the mark. And what about jeans? Good news. Dark wash, clean, non-ripped jeans are almost always allowed, even in fancier venues. What used to be a fashion faux pas is now a cruise night staple. Just don't show up in baggy, frayed denim with holes the size of a dessert plate, and you'll be fine. Want to be sure? Most ships post dress expectations in the daily schedule or on the cruise app, so check before dinner to avoid surprises. Bottom line, you don't need to go full tux or ballroom gown unless it's formal night and you want to, but dressing with a little effort shows you're embracing the moment. Because eating lobster in gym shorts kinda kills the magic. Let's talk accessories, specifically the ones on your head and feet. Because while that baseball cap and those trusty flip-flops might be your go-to travel buddies, they don't always get a warm welcome in the cruise dining room. Most cruise lines still stick to an old-school rule: no hats at dinner, especially baseball caps. It's not about fashion, it's about tradition. You'll often see this rule posted near the main dining room entrance, and occasionally enforced. If you forget and stroll in with your cap on, don't be surprised if a server gently asks you to remove it. Now, of course, there are exceptions. Some guests wear hats for medical or religious reasons, and staff always respect that. But if it's just your signature look, maybe let it rest during dinner. Flip-flops, on the other hand, literally have a dress code of their own. Around the pool? Perfect. But in a candlelit dining room with white tablecloths? Not so much. On traditional cruise lines like Cunard or Holland America, flip-flops are generally not allowed during dinner. But some modern lines, like Norwegian, tend to be more relaxed, especially in casual venues or specialty restaurants. So yes, you might get away with nice sandals or even flip-flops at the buffet or a beach-themed eatery. But pool slides at formal steak night? Probably not the move. Here's the thing. Cruise dinners don't have to be stiff, but they do carry a certain atmosphere. And swapping your hat for styled hair or switching from flip-flops to casual shoes shows a touch of effort. It's not about following a rule, it's about elevating the moment, not just for others, but for yourself too. Because sometimes, it's the smallest gestures that help make a night feel just a little more special. Formal night. The words alone can spark either excitement or mild panic. So is it still a thing? Yes, but it's evolved. Most cruise lines still offer 1 or 2 formal nights on week-long sailings. But what formal means has definitely loosened up. You'll see some folks dressed to the nines, think tuxedos, ball gowns, the whole red carpet treatment. And others, a blazer, a nice dress, maybe even just a shirt with a collar. Cruise lines like Cunard still hold tight to the traditional formal vibe. Men in jackets, women in cocktail dresses, especially in places like the Queen's Room. But with lines like Norwegian or Virgin Voyages, formal night is more of a suggestion than a rule. You can dress up or not. Totally up to you. That said, making a bit of an effort can be fun. You'll likely take a lot of photos that night. Some of your best vacation pics, in fact. And dressing up, even just a little, adds a touch of magic. After all, when else do you get to dine in a chandelier-lit room in the middle of the ocean? Pro tip, if you're not into dressing up, you don't have to skip dinner altogether. Most ships allow casual attire in the buffet or casual restaurants, even on formal night. So if you'd rather eat your pasta in flip-flops, you still have options. And for guys, pack 1 collared shirt and a pair of decent pants. That combo will get you into 90% of restaurants with no stress. Bottom line, formal night isn't about being fancy, it's about embracing the moment. Whether you're in a bow tie or a polo, just show up, smile, and enjoy the ride. So should you pack with personality? Absolutely. Should you also keep a few cruise rules in mind? Definitely. A cruise vacation is all about freedom and fun, but a little wardrobe awareness goes a long way in avoiding awkward moments, dress code drama, or a surprise trip back to your cabin to change. Now we want to hear from you. Have you ever seen someone break a shipboard-style rule in the wild? Or maybe you learned the hard way? Drop your story in the comments. We'd love to hear it. And if this helped you feel more cruise-ready, hit that thumbs up, subscribe for more travel tips, and share this with your cruise buddy who still thinks bathrobes belong at breakfast. Bon voyage, and we'll see you at dinner. Hopefully not in a swimsuit.